ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Rosse Bespoke YouTube channel. Now, today I've got one of Glasgow's best loved characters. Alan, his characters, doesn't sound complimentary, does it? Sorry about that. We've got one.
Makes me sound a bit dodgy, you know.
It does, doesn't it? It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'll take character. I've been called a lot worse.
So today we've got Alan McDougall, and he is a clay door concierge. Now, some of you will know everything about what that means and what it is to be a clay door concierge. Others of you will probably have absolutely no idea about what that means. So he's going to fill us in on more about himself, more about what it means to be this clay door, this gold keys. I mean, it's this kind of almost mythical title that a lot of people will have heard of, seen in films and things like that, but they actually won't have any idea what it really means in real life. So thank you so much for joining us, Alan.
You're very welcome, Simeon. Always a pleasure.
Tell me a bit more about yourself, a bit more about your experience, you know, what is it you do?
So I've been in hotels since I came out of school at sort of late 15s, just about to turn 16, straight out of school, and straight into, at that time, it was a YTS as a youth training scheme. Some of your viewers of a certain vintage will know what a YTS is. Others will be like, what's he talking about? But went into YTS, the sort of training scheme. I think nowadays it'd be like a modern apprenticeship. But yeah, did sort of city and guilds and hall portering. And after that, I managed to get a job in my first real concierge department was at the Hilton in Glasgow. And you know, when I first started out in my YTS, that was 32 years ago. So just working my way slowly but surely, so up the ladder. You know, been in and around some of the sort of the best hotels in sort of Glasgow and the west of Scotland, and yeah, every day is a different challenge. You know, you never know what's coming next. So
very true. Yes, definitely. And you know, I described you there in the intro as being like one of the best loved characters, and I genuinely mean that in all the nicest ways. Like everyone knows you, you know everyone. You know, I'm thinking we could walk into pretty much any restaurant in Glasgow and it would be like where Norm walks in Cheers, wouldn't it?
Don't know about that, you know, that far, but yeah, any concierge is only as good as their contacts, you know, and I'm a great believer in I never ever throw away a business card. Someone pops in to say, oh, if you ever need my services, there's my business card. And it could be something completely random, you know. I never ever throw that business card away, because you never know, the next guest that walks around the corner, it could be a year down the line, a guest walks around the corner, it just so happens I've got a business card for that guy, you know. So yeah, and even if probably the one I get asked most of is chauffeurs. Chauffeurs will drop in, you know, here's my business card, you know, and every concierge in the land, I think, has got their sort of go-to guys, if you like, you know, that they use. But you can never have too many backups. Your guy's full, your backup's full, his backup's full, you know. Yeah, it's always good to have, you know, a little bank of contacts. So probably the biggest tool in my armoury is that I always take anywhere any job I've went to has been my business card holder, which is started off quite thin, but it's it's quite thick now. I could probably do with you know, give it a little once over. It's probably a few out of date now, but
so do you reckon that's your sort of, you know, I'm looking at the skills of a concierge, the skills of a gold keys concierge. your contacts, is that the biggest thing? But what else? What other skills do you have?
Yeah, as I was saying, contacts is one. Another thing is, like I was just saying a minute ago, you never know what the next guest is going to walk around the corner to the concierge desk, what he's going to ask for. So the ability to think on your feet, sort of a little bit of a sharp mind, you know, and as I say, the ability to think on your feet is probably what I would say is makes a good concierge, you know. Nothing flusters you. Doesn't matter what the request is. You know, yeah, it's fine. If I can't sort it, I know someone who will. You know, it's and it's all about keeping guest expectations realistic. Don't overpromise. Never ever overpromise, underdeliver. You know, always keep your expectations realistic. Even if it's just timescale, yeah, I can fix that for you. But you know, it's quite a task you've given me, so I might just need an extra 10 minutes. You know, just managing your guest expectations at the same time, you know, is that's another trait I would have, the ability to manage your guest expectations along with thinking on your feet. Yeah,
I think that's really good advice for all the butlers listening as well, to be honest, because that would be the perfect advice for any sort of trainee butlers. It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
And there's actually a lot of similarities between the two jobs, isn't there?
There is a little bit. In there. I've worked with at one point when I worked down at the Cameron House at Loch Lomond, that at one stage they were offering a sort of butler service there, you know, and there was a thing when I was watching the sort of fly in the wall thing about Claridge's in London. I'm sure it was the thing about Claridge's where they had the butlers and they had the concierge, and the butler, the way he put it was that he'll deal with any of his guest requests within the property. When the guest wants to go out, that's when he calls the concierge, you know, when the guest is needing something from external of the property as such, you know, local advice, you know, tables at restaurants, theatre tickets, football tickets, you know, that's when the concierge sort of comes to the fore, if you like, you know.
What a wonderful resource to have. I must say, as a butler and having worked as a private butler, I wish that I had a concierge with me in the team that I could say, oh, come on, this is something outside the house. I know who I'm going to call to deal with this.
And there's a certain skill set as well that butlers will have that concierges maybe wouldn't have, you know, so if you're working in a property where there are butlers, maybe it's a guest who hasn't taken part in the sort of butler scheme or at that level or what have you, you know, but they ask a question and it may be something where the concierge can fall back in the butler, you know, what would the approach be to this, you know? And I've said to you, you know, put my hands up, I can't tie a bow tie. I keep saying to you, I need to get you to show me how to do that, you know.
You have definitely mentioned it. Yep.
That would definitely be one of the things when I would fall back on the ball if there was, you know. But yeah, definitely, there's definitely a lot of crossovers, but I would say, yeah, a different skill set, but one or two little crossovers between the butler and concierge, yeah.
I've certainly thought of what our next video is going to be. It's going to be a bow tie along with me. We can do it together.
Yeah.
It might be a long video because it is blooming fiddly, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But I'm not sure, is it much harder to tie on someone else? Because, you know, when my boy was going to school and I had tying him on, I used to have to stand behind him. I couldn't do that face to face. I'd stand behind him and tie his tie.
Yeah, you can't really do that when it's your guests, can you? Excuse me, sir. I'm just going to come from behind and just reach out. No, I don't think that's going to.
Especially if the guest is 6'5", you know, yeah, not going to work.
Yeah. I'd say with a bow tie, it's actually probably easier to do it on someone else because it's actually quite good to be able to look at it from the front rather than in the mirror. So it's actually probably easier with someone else.
That's because the only one I'll ever have personally would be a clip-on, you know. The only time I'm ever tying one is probably going to be for a guest.
So you know, looking at all these different things that the concierge does for the guests, and there's a lot. There's a lot, and I'm going to get you to talk a bit more about that in a second because there really is so much stuff. And well, actually, I'll talk to you briefly about it right now. I'm thinking about it, and I know for a fact that a lot of people are quite shy to ask the concierge to do stuff for them, aren't they?
Okay. Yeah.
And it's silly. So this is more my advice, I think, to people watching is if you're lucky enough to staying in a hotel with a concierge, at least have a chat with them. At least, even if you don't need anything from them.
That would probably be my advice. Anyone go to a nice hotel, nice 4 or 5 star hotel, you know, if you walking by the desk and you see the concierge, if you see someone at the concierge, I say hello. More particularly if you see the golden keys, you know, definitely stop, say hello, have a wee chat, and yeah, absolutely. If you need something, I mean, like you were saying there, not everyone likes to ask. I've lost count the amount of times, you know, I've heard guests mumbling, "Oh, I'm not sure," you know, they're looking at a map, or I don't know whether they go here or there, and they're sort of mumbling away to each other, and you play dumb, you walk back, "Hello, sir, madam, how are you getting on? Where are you off to today?" You know, just, "Oh, actually, we're not sure." That's what you sort of not impose yourself, but sort of just let them know you're available. I think is you know, just
That's it. Yeah, make yourself available to them.
Yeah, if you see someone sort of maybe needs a little nudge in the right direction, don't be afraid to introduce yourself, say hello, and if the guest wants to ask you something, then they certainly will.
Yeah, I think, and it's something that I've really, like, over the years, I've really warmed up to the whole concierge service. And now if I stay somewhere without one, I really miss it, because even if I don't have anything that I need them to do for me, I love to just stop and say, "Oh, can you tell me a bit more about the town? What's good?" That kind of thing.
Sorry, I'm not getting this. A man of your stature staying somewhere without a concierge?
Well, you know, hang my head in shame. Yeah. But in all seriousness, actually, this is something I was going to say. Even some pretty expensive hotels these days sometimes don't have a concierge, which to me is crazy, but it's true, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the way unfortunately, it's the way the world, especially over the last year or so, as people haven't been travelling as such, and hotel management sort of all over the world, not in Glasgow, not in the UK, absolutely worldwide, is unfortunately, as people aren't travelling, that the concierge has been one of the first ones to be put out to pasture, if you like, and I think unfortunately we're going to be the last ones brought in. We're sort of seen as a little bit of a luxury or non-essential, if you like, you know. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is, and so we're hoping, touch wood, you know, that hopefully people will be getting travelling again soon and looking to seek out the services of their concierge, and we're hoping that the hotel management all across the globe notices this and starts to get the guys back at the work, back where they should be, behind desks, facing customers, warmly greeting their guests as they should be, you know.
I'm 100% behind the concierge service. It really is. And, you know, and that's it. If you see a concierge, make sure you use the service. You're not, that's it. You're not putting someone out if you're a guest asking to use their service. You're actually keeping people in jobs by demonstrating the fact that they're needed.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would encourage anyone, go to a hotel anywhere, give them a call, drop an email. Have you got a concierge I can speak to? Just look for that service. Hopefully, if you you get a positive answer and say, then you get put in touch with a concierge. But if not, then the more and more people that request the service, hopefully the hotel managers and such more large companies will see that it is an essential part of hospitality.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, they certainly are. And like you say, it's the high-end luxury, like the concierge and like the butlers, like the hotel butlers, just the same, are unfortunately being the first ones that are cut, because they are the highest level of luxury. So maybe the people running the hotels, and I'm not in any way criticizing anyone who runs hotels, because my goodness, it's a hard market at the moment. So I do not envy them that job at all. And I can see why they're cutting costs with that. But I wonder if now's not a better time to double down. If you're like, you've got to attract these people, you've got to attract people who are going to spend money, you've got to attract people who are going to return, and you want to give them the best service. You don't want to give them less service than they got last time they came.
Yeah, it's a bit of the old chicken and the egg situation. I think we're not bringing you back until we get the guest levels back, but then to try and get the guest levels back, we need to be sort of offering that sort of that level of service, and so a little bit of chicken and egg or horse and car, whatever way you want to look at it.
Yeah. Goodness, it's the hardest year anyone's ever had. There's never been someone, maybe since possibly the Second World War would be the last time that someone's had these problems running a hotel.
Yeah, the only time I was ever made redundant was in the early 90s, and during people of a certain vintage again will remember the recession of sort of late 80s, early 90s, a bit of a recession, but absolutely nowhere near what the last year has taken us through. It's probably the worst year I can ever remember working, So again, touch wood again, hopefully this is the last we'll see of it. We get out the other side and, it's full steam ahead. Then, because, we really need to get our guests back. Yeah.
So, I mean, how do you see the future now? I mean, let's be positive. Let's assume it's a positive future, but, how are you seeing it in the sort of medium to long term? What's your trends? So
there's a lot of the hotels within Glasgow are sort of reporting our sister hotel, the Blythswood Square Hotel they're reporting great pickup, but it's a lot of leisure travel. So the weekends moving forward for the foreseeable future, weekends are going to be really busy, and midweek not so much. So there's a little tip to everyone watching, if you're looking for a little bargain, get out there midweek, get yourself a hotel room and get away for a couple of days, Yes.
Oh, and that would be lovely to come and stay at either the Blythswood or the Grand Central or, any of these other wonderful hotels, just midweek, just spoil yourself with a little break. Wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. And come to Glasgow, see this beautiful city of ours.
Yeah, and it is a beautiful city.
For anyone who doesn't know, a lot of people comment, a lot of especially guests come in from North America. They come in and comment, they say, we didn't realise how green it was here, and that is Glasgow translates as Dear Green Place. That's the translation of Glasgow, you know, and it is a beautiful space with some beautiful parks, museums and attractions, and yeah, some fantastic venues for good food, drink, live music, you know. Yeah, it's absolutely a wonderful city. I would never live anywhere else.
Well, that's a brilliant testament to a city. You can't ask for more than that, can you?
And the other thing is the city slogan is "People make Glasgow." Never have truer words been spoken. You know, Glaswegians are incredibly friendly, and that's the thing about the. You know, if you go into the continent, hospitality is a very much revered trade. Not so much in the UK, but it's strange because I mean, especially here in Scotland, you know, I would pitch our natural hospitality against anywhere in the world. I don't know the reason behind it not being as sort of revered as such, the way it is on the continent. You know, it's yeah, it's a strange one, that.
Yeah, I think it's massively underappreciated here. I mean, tourism is very important. We've seen how important it is. We're seeing how much money we're missing out on right now from not having the tourists. And maybe that will make people appreciate all of us in hospitality a little bit more, because they'll realize what they're missing.
I was reading a piece in the Daily Mail, and it was something the hospitality industry has to find something like 355,000 workers to fill roles within the UK. And I think a lot of the Eastern European workers who are maybe doing jobs that maybe the British nationals aren't necessarily looking to do, like as we were saying there, because hospitality isn't sort of high up in everyone's list of career choices in the UK, you know. But a lot of these Eastern European colleagues have gone back home because of the Brexit situation, you know, and there's a lot of positions to be filled. So I think my opinion is that the ball is very much going to be in the staff members' court, you know, and I think the staff, especially good hospitality staff, are about to seize the high ground, you know, and they're going to be very much in demand.
Well, I think so, and I hope so, because to be honest, it's about time, because hospitality staff are highly trained, highly motivated. I always say that someone who works in hospitality can probably ace almost any job, because there's not many jobs you get thrown all these different things all day long. And so, you know, let's push it forwards, and let's hope that that's what we're going to see. So right now, obviously, we're on the cusp of that, and we've got a lot of people in hospitality that are looking for jobs because we've not opened up yet. But I guess what we're saying is, don't worry, it's going to happen soon.
Yeah, I think so. I think, in my personal opinion, and maybe I'm being optimistic, maybe foolishly optimistic, but I think it is going to come back a lot quicker than a lot of people realise. I think, I think people are going to travel as soon as humanly possible. There's people, you know, people not only want to travel, there's countless charities out there who have not had a charity ball for a year or two.
Really?
You know,
Yeah.
so many corporate functions haven't been held. You know, associations like our Gold Keys meeting. How desperate are we all to get back to a Gold Keys meeting? You know.
Absolutely.
But you know, these are all backlogged things. So I think as soon as these things are allowed, I think it is absolutely, to use a term, it's going to go absolutely mental. Yeah, and I hope so. You know, as I say, we really need it, and hopefully that will line us up for a good traditional busy Christmas period. You know.
Yes.
That's
it. That's what we're looking forward to. A really good late summer, autumn, and then a stonking good Christmas, Hogmanay like you wouldn't believe, you know.
Yeah. And in January we'll be needing a break again.
Yeah, January will be like, we need to fill up with all this work. Right, well, it's been absolutely wonderful talking to you. I knew it would be, Alan. I knew it'd just be a pleasure for me just to have a chat with you, to be honest.
The pleasure's mine.
So if anyone wants to hear a bit more of Alan, Alan also is one of the presenters on an absolutely brilliant podcast, which I love, Pure Buzzing, which is awesome. They've got to look that up, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. The Pure Buzzing is the inspiration behind it was that back last year during the first lockdown, you know, there was all these negative stories coming out, redundancies, layoffs, shutdowns, closure, all that sort of thing. But there was little nuggets of positive stories. You know, there's a chef that's taking over this restaurant, you know, and he's going to be going up, you know, full steam ahead. And there's this company is going to be opening up a hotel on this street. And, you know, there's all these stories that were getting sort of swept aside. And I was thinking, there's got to be a way of getting the positive messages out there. You know, enough of the negativity. We need the positivity going forward. And I got together with a couple of colleagues from the hospitality industry, a couple of guys, two Liams from Strathclyde University, who are absolutely wizards on the technical side of things, and Hannah from Chowfraya on Buchanan Street, probably Glasgow's best Thai restaurant. And and we all got together and we put the Pure Buzzing together because we can't wait till the city is pure buzzing again. You know, so yeah, jump onto YouTube, have a look. We've had some great guests, from Gordon McIntyre from the City of Glasgow College, to David Cochrane of Hit Scotland, to Jeff Ellis from DF Concerts, you know, yeah, Aileen from the Convention Bureau, Louise Brody, you know, who's now at Skibo. She was at Cameron House, but she's now up at Skibo. And so some fantastic guests on there. Go on there, give us a look. Only after watched your channel first, though.
I think there's plenty of room for them to watch both. There's a lot of hours in the day. There's plenty of time to watch both. I'll put a link underneath as well. So if anyone's looking for Pure Buzzing, they'll be able to just click on it and go straight to it, because it's definitely worth it.
You'll have to come and join us one day.
Oh yeah, well, I hope so. I mean, I've been getting my makeup ready and everything to look good for it. So well, thank you so much, Alan. Did you have any final thoughts or anything that you wanted to share?
No, I'm just as things open up, you know, I would urge everybody to get out there, enjoy themselves responsibly, but yeah, go to your local hospitality venue, be it a pub, restaurant, hotel, you know, go out there, enjoy yourself, take your family out, you know, have a great time, and help get the hospitality industry back on its feet again.
Excellent. Well, I'm certainly looking forward to joining you for a pint or two and doing my bit for the hospitality industry at some point. So thank you so much, Alan. Thank you for joining us. Look forward to seeing you again in real life soon. And anyone staying at the hotel, I'm sure, make sure they come and have a chat with you and find out all about it. Okay, well, thanks very much, and I'll see you again soon.
Thanks, everyone.